everyone, and welcome to Semyon Plays Frosty Kiss. I don't know, I was looking for Christmas-themed games to play, and this one sparked my interest. It is a visual novel game, and its first language is in Russian. Yeah, I guess without further ado, we'll hop right into this, because I don't know much about this besides being it a visual novel and the characters are throwing some sort of Christmas party or something. But anyway, here we go. I wonder, what is the spirit of New Year? And what is New Year itself? Just another time circle, one of the many red-letter days, or a much more alluring and mysterious event. If my memory serves me right, the New Year was celebrated even in ancient Rome. Who knows, maybe even before that. But why is it a holiday, and why are people so excited about it? 'Cause free presents. Well, New Year's not necessarily, but Christmas, yes. Everyone decorates New Year trees, dreams up various stories, invites their friends. Simon, there's a lot of free space behind it. What's the matter? Are you grudging the toys? Lena's voice made me snap out of my thoughts, and I found myself standing still, clutching a small glass statue of a snow maiden in my fidgeting hands. Oh, be careful with that. Yeah, I'm on it. Slavia, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'll just call her Via for short, because I don't know. Via, chop it smaller. We won't be able to eat it this way. Yolanda, cucumber should be over there. Have a look, please. Gosh, me reading the names are... Oh, the girls look pretty, though. Alright. In one moment, everyone around is busy with holiday duties. Even I, driven by the ambience, volunteered to bring and decorate a New Year tree. You mean Christmas tree? Whatever. Today is the 31st of December. We reached an agreement to celebrate New Year at Lena's. It just happened that way. Anyway, it's not like we had another option. True. Lena's place was the obvious choice after all. Who would be pleased to celebrate New Year in an untidy and dusty apartment like mine? Or in a dormitory in which Via and Alyssa lived? Several hours left until New Year's. And the preparations were going all out. I finished decorating our New Year tree. Via, Yulana, and Lena were casting their spells on the festive meals. Meanwhile, Alyssa dashed to get the groceries, as we were running out of ingredients in the last minute. Oh no. Obviously, we were hoping that Xenia and Marcia would drop in, but the evening was getting darker and the girls were nowhere to be seen. There's so many characters, oh my god. The front door slammed, allowing in the freezing fresh air that could even be felt there, near the Christmas tree. Come get the supplies. Having finally hung the glass statue on a branch, I came up to Alyssa. Judging by her voice, the supplies were very heavy. She stood with her back against the wall, trying to catch her breath. Lena, couldn't you find an apartment even higher? Whoa, sure, it doesn't matter whether it's the second or fifth floor. It's exhausting in any case, she shouted in the direction of the living room. Only muffled laughter echoes from there. What, you climbed the stairs while carrying all that? Can't you see? Why didn't you use an elevator? Alyssa stood up to me and glanced angrily at me. Being a smartass, the elevator already went up, and I didn't want to wait.
Bruh.
What you standing there for? Move this to the kitchen. Stop making eyes at me and move. Alyssa has always been kind of a locomotive and, at the same time, an ignition spark in our company. Just as Yulana. If we gathered up somewhere, it was definitely their scheme. The bags appeared to be really heavy, and when I tried to pick them up, I couldn't hold a cry for surprise. Ooh, how feeble the men are these days. Come on, let me help you. Together we managed to get the large stretch due to the load. Bags to the couch that creaked under their weight. What have you brought so much for? You'll thank me in the morning. Wow, girls, there are some firecrackers over there. Nosy Yolanda has already peered inside a bag through a hole in its side. pulled out a long black box, yelling cheerfully, tearing the bag even harder. Oranges fell out and rolled around the floor. Nice going, Yulana. Having noticed the disaster she's done, Yulana gathered the fruit quickly and pretended to be a nice girl. What? The front door slammed again. Hey everyone, and where have you been loitering around? Masha entered the living room wearing a dark dress and a rolled neck sweater that suited her perfectly. I mean, she's pretty too, but the art style's really nice too, if I didn't mention that earlier. I wasn't loitering anywhere. We've recorded our song today, and I tell you girls, it's beautiful. Oh, she's a singer, huh? So what's up, got any news? Are there more people to come? 'Cause there are so few of us here. Oh, Simon, hey there. Even though there were only 6 of us, it was getting pretty crowded in Lena's one-room flat. One room? Oh my god. That's limited space. What a beautiful Christmas tree you have. Is it real or fake? You know, we brought a fake one and it smells so awful. Well, like plastic, you know. And here you have a real one. It's so cute. I adore real Christmas trees. When I was little, we used to bring and decorate a real Christmas tree. And I would even chew its needles. What the fuck? And I also love olive salad too. Do you add pickles to it? My mother always does. But one of my friends doesn't.
2 hours later.
Someone had to calm Marsha's endless chatter down, so I dared to chime in the conversation. Or should I say, monologue. We are waiting for Zena. Help us sort out the stuff, will you? Okay. Oh, by the way, this evening we... Suddenly, she went silent, pausing in mid-sentence. This evening, you what? It's nothing. Bruh. With a great deal of commitment, Masha went about loading off the bags, sorting food on the table while leaving the rest of the stuff on the sofa. There was a strange, nearly forgotten feeling that had been haunting me restlessly throughout the whole holiday, as though I was 12 again, hurrying up to bed so that I could wake up early in the morning and open up gifts, waiting for me under the New Year tree. And Masha's strange nothing only served to reinforce this feeling. I guess this is the first time in about 5 or 7 years I find myself in high spirits on the eve of the New Year. Today I enjoy myself rather than staying buried like a mole within 4 walls, forcing my eyes not to miss the moment the clock in the corner of the screen marks the beginning of another cycle of the seasons I couldn't tell the difference between. That is a long sentence. Oh my god. It's all thanks to the girls. It's only been a while since the day we all met, though up to now we've been hanging out together and visiting each other pretty often, as if we were old friends. Well, perhaps it was the truth after all. But can we call everything that happened to us real? Or was it a bright and vivid dream our company shared? Though it mattered not now. The more important thing is the lesson we learned from this dream. The hand of the clock was approaching 10 p.m. Lena and Via were having a chat and rattling dishes in the kitchen. Oil was sizzling on the pan and some meat was baking in the oven, filling the kitchen with appetizing savor as the serving of the festive table was reaching its end. Lots of trumpery was hanging from each and every corner I reached. Garlands were winking with bright colors, and dolls' glassware was glistening from the branches of the New Year tree. The scent of tangerine and pine needles served as the complement of the elevated atmosphere of holidays, just like in the good old days of childhood. Yulana and Alyssa ran outside, having a strong intention to try out the explosive contents of the bag that filled it to the limit. Masha was lying on the sofa, and soon to be falling asleep. I was sitting in an old and soft armchair, staring aimlessly at the TV screen, where a bunch of show business stars in brightly colored dresses, Hollywood smiles shining on their faces, were wishing their audience a happy new year. So at the very moment, I had not a slightest intention to notice any of their histrionic behavior. All I wanted to see was a noisy celebration of the holidays with cheerful people and their never-fading smiles. And I wanted to believe in their countless wishes of happiness and health, and that every wish would undoubtedly come true. This time, at least. My eyes accidentally caught a slate of some kind of little dark box lying on the floor. Ulana's firecrackers. At the same time, a mobile phone rang somewhere in the kitchen. You want me to drop them? Nah, climb up and take them by yourself.
Bruh.
I won't drop them to you. What? Oh, okay. Simon, go down and give those firecrackers to Ulana. She left them somewhere in the room. Thoughts were moving slowly in my head, as if my mind was enfolded in some haze and I didn't want to leave this soft and cozy armchair. Well, why don't I go out and breathe some fresh air? My stomach needs to take a break from those tempting smells anyway. Oh, we got choices. We will obviously go down to Ulana, cause dropping the fireworks from the window sounds dangerous. Though it was too stuffy in the apartment. I'll go for a walk. I said to the girls in the kitchen and left the apartment. The street greeted me with noises from every corner. Someone was launching fireworks. Children were playing with the peg tops, little toys that were spinning and launching sheaves of multicolored sparks. Ulana and Alyssa were setting up a huge firework that was probably equipped within at least 30 shots, as the box wasn't a small one. I'm afraid to imagine what cut of our budget was spent on this inanity. Got it? Instead of answering, I showed her the small box. Give it here. Ulana snatched the box out of my hands. Well, now we're gonna rock this night. She had a twinkle in her eyes, just like a small child. She was probably thinking of something to blow up the whole time.
No! God, please, no!
Why'd you buy them? You could make it yourself. It isn't the first time for you, after all. If looks could kill, there'd be just a small pile of ash left of me under Alyssa's incinerating glare. You're such a jackass, Simon. What's wrong? Victorious capitalism prevailed over the young chemist. Old habits still turned up in the worst time possible. And now I realize I unwillingly teased Alyssa. Alright, I'm sorry. Don't blow me up. Hands raised themselves in a reclining gesture. Would you, for one, stop apologizing in an upcoming year? Maybe you just don't get mad at me. She just tiredly waved me aside and chilly shrugged. I'm gonna go get warm. Freeze yourself if you want to. My coat wasn't the most frost-proof one, which is why I started to freeze as soon as I left the porch and felt the first wind blast. Just as I wanted to get back into the apartment, I was acutely pulled by the sleeve. Hey, who's gonna launch the fireworks? And there are still some firecrackers left. Should we get warm or no? Let's go get warm. If you want to freeze over, that's your choice. I'm out of here. Alyssa cast a glance on me and headed back into the apartment. Hey, wait for me. Yeah, run away, cowards. She kept shouting something at us, but a heavy thud of a massive front door drowned her monologue. She's so naughty. Oh, why is that flashing in the background? That's weird. Alyssa was standing near the radiator, rubbing her frozen hands. Well, it's Ulana, you know. She's just a walking spark plug. It won't help her to be less naughty, will it? No argument there. Silence hung in the air. So, how are you and stuff? I haven't really had a word with you. In fact, I knew practically nothing about her. Why? Have you become some kind of an investigator? Nah, it's just... I can ask you about that, can I? Well, you already know where I live. I also attend classes. You do? Where? Why do you care? I really didn't care that much, as I had started the conversation just to kill time. Alyssa checked her pockets for some reason. I'll go back to Lena. I forgot my phone there. Do you really need it now? You can get it later. And what if Zena rings up? Well, let's go together then. I wanted neither to be left alone nor to freeze over outside. But up there, with a bit of luck, I could even get some snacks. My gut was rumbling in anticipation of a feast as I had decided to have no food back at home. Let's go then. She pushed a muddy call button and we heard a humming sound coming from the elevator shaft. Uh-oh. Maybe we should climb up the stairs? Alyssa snorted and waved her hand in an inviting gesture. Want to make this on your two? Well, go ahead. I've had my fun climbing up with the bags, thank you. Next moment, the elevator doors slid open, letting a couple of people out. The elevator was pretty old, according to the graffiti. Vasa was here in 1967. I was about to step inside when I felt something was odd in there, so I couldn't bring myself to make another move. What's this all about? We already used that elevator before. What's the halt? I was just thinking. Having put aside the blur signs of unconsciousness, I entered the elevator and pushed the button. The doors closed in front of us, and the elevator started a soft movement. For a while, we didn't drop a word, and some odd rattling and ticking of the elevation mechanism was the only thing to break the silence that hung in that tiny, barely illuminated elevator cabin. Suddenly, the light flickered once, and then for the last time before it went off. But the biggest problem was that the elevator got stuck as well. Oh no! The cabin shook, making Alyssa lose her balance. She nearly fell over me, but I managed to put my arms around her and supported her as my back hit the wall. Are you okay? Yeah, you know, you can let me go now. I could tell by her voice that she was quite embarrassed. I released her and took my cell phone out of my pocket. The light from the screen revealed a frightened girl's face. What? What was that? The elevator stuck. I immediately dialed Via. She must have got the phone with her, as she was the person Yulana had called to.
A few moments later.
No answer. I dialed her about 5 or 6 times, but she never answered. Alyssa looked as if she had become smaller. She turned pale and flattened herself against the corner, staring aimlessly and barely moving her lips. Got anything? Her eyes were full of hope. Nothing at all. Unfortunately. My teeth grated irritatedly as I put my cell phone back in the jeans pocket. So, what do we do now? My legs had gone numb, so I tried to relax them somehow. Well, what can we possibly do? Perhaps the girls will notice our absence. But we've got to wait until then. Alyssa grew even paler. That doesn't look pale, but okay. No way, I'm going to stay locked in this box. She started thrashing the doors of the elevator, screaming loudly. Hey, somebody! Anybody help! We've got stuck in the elevator. Only the echo answered her call. It's futile. You better try getting through with your cell phone instead of just sitting here doing nothing. Are you even thinking of doing something? I didn't plan to spend New Year's in here. You haven't even tried to push any buttons, have you? But I pushed them already. I poked the muddy panel one more time just to prove her wrong. You see now? Keep on calling then. She went on to thrash the doors even harder. Oh boy. Having sighed, I picked up the cell phone again and dialed the good old number for the 100th time, though the result was the same as before. Perhaps I should send her a message. Hope she will read it. Alyssa and I got stuck in the elevator. Via, call somebody. Your message has been sent. I guess I ought to do the trick. Alyssa tried calling for help for a while, but without any success. Eventually, she gave out a sigh of weariness and sat back in her corner. Oh, so? Still nothing. Great. Her once ardent eyes were full of despair. What's the time? My cell phone battery nearly ran out of juice, so looked at the barely visible of the wristwatch instead. It's 11 o'clock. Alyssa nodded, and I just went on gazing into space. Sometimes I just like to watch her behavior. About a minute ago, she was ready to tear those damn elevator doors apart with her bare hands. But there she was, sitting lowly as if she had already resigned herself to fate. Apart from our breaths, there was no other source of heat. In contrast, there were too many ways the cold air could come through. I'm freezing. She moved her frozen shoulders. It's getting a little bit awkward. I didn't really feel either cold or warm, so without a moment's hesitation, I took off my coat and tried to cover Alyssa with it. But she just replied, "But what about you?" It's alright. It really wasn't, but I couldn't stand watching Alyssa freeze to death. I'll just start jumping till I get my juices flowing, that's all. Okay. It seemed as if my artificial encouraging smile had worked out. Just you try that. If we fall down, I'll kill you. I'm alright, seriously, just take the coat. Well, sit down then. She moved as much as it was possible, giving me some space near her. As soon as I had somehow forced myself in the corner, Alyssa covered us with my coat. It's much better now. I just don't want you to freeze because of me, that's all. Since Alyssa and I got under the same roof, it was only getting warmer. How long are we going to be stuck here, do you think? Truly speaking, I was a bit scared when the lights went off and Via didn't answer my call. I think I've seen a Hollywood horror film that starts the same way. I have no clue, but let's hope for the best. To hell with these such thoughts. I'm sorry for shouting at you and everything. Nah, it's okay. But I mean it. I'm sorry for losing my temper. It's alright. Alyssa let out a sigh. And what's the time now? I cast a glance over the wristwatch and told her. 11:30. New Year's spent in the elevator. Who would have thought? We both laughed it out quietly. I wonder what the others are doing right now. What do you mean? Well, Via didn't pick up her phone. Nobody will be looking for us. Hush. What is it now? She just hissed at me. Then I managed to hear someone thumping up the stairs in the distance. Come on, get up. She literally jumped up to the elevator doors. Hey, help, we're stuck in the elevator. Yeah, call somebody. An impish and familiar voice answers us. And I thought why the elevator wasn't coming. So now I have to rush up the stairs just because you found nothing better to do than get yourself stuck in here, huh? Bite your tongue and I'll call somebody already. Alright. The sound of footsteps passed us and headed up the stairs. That's a huge load off my mind. Now when the girls know where we are, they will surely find a way to get us out. And I think I'm going to leave this part here because my throat is slowly dying. But I think we'll get off the elevator pretty soon. I don't know how long this game is, but I heard it's short. I don't know how long it is, though. This game is pretty nice so far. I know with visual novel games there's so much reading and then your voice dies quickly, but you can't do much about it. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. And I guess I will see you next time in another Frosty Kiss video. Or whatever I make next. Goodbye for now.